Hello, welcome to another episode of Leo Interviews. Today we have a very special guest with us. Would you mind telling us your name?
Thank you, Leo.
Because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to hear your name.
Thank you, Leo. My name is Joe Womack, and I am honored to be here on your podcast.
Yes. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a guy that was born in Southern California. My dad was a Marine, so we lived in a town called San Clemente on the beach. It was fantastic. And I had one brother and one sister. They both passed away, unfortunately. But my mom is still doing great. She's 88 years old. She was a farm girl and keeps on working. So I've been raised in a great family, and I've got two children, both born miraculously through in vitro fertilization. My daughter Faye is 33, my son Warren is 29, and my wife and I live in the hill country in a town called Driftwood.
I believe Driftwood is in Dripping Springs, if I'm correct?
It's about 8 miles south of Dripping Springs, and it's a little bit rural, so we're about 8 miles on curvy, beautiful country roads to get to Dripping Springs, and that's where we go if you want to get milk or gas or anything.
Yeah.
You got to go into town.
I bet it's like beautiful living out in the country. Like out here, well, I know the camera can't see all of it, but just for everyone to know that there's like windows like right here, and I bet if I like showed the camera, you guys could see what we're talking about, because like, of course, like, well, because like you can see, it's basically just like the wildlife.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
it is beautiful.
And then we have a creek down there as well.
It is trees as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, trees, and then like 2 houses down there. But yeah, what is your biggest challenge, and how did you overcome it?
My biggest challenge, I think, has been to really trust God and not think I can do things by myself.
Nice. You know, I think like today we rely on so many people, and like sometimes, you know, we rely on a bunch of other things, and we don't always rely on God, which is who we should always rely on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Leo, in my life, I've had a bad habit of, if I'm driving down the highway of life in a convertible going 70 miles an hour on a beautiful day, I think I'm responsible for everything and I got it. And then I tend to, when I run into the ditch and I've got 4 flat tires and it's starting to rain, that's usually when I say, okay, God, it's your turn to drive. But what I'm trying to learn is that God is always there, and God loves me and wants to help me in good times and bad times. When you get married, you talk about for richer or for poorer, sickness and in health. And I think just remembering that God is there not to just be the great physician when you need healing, but to actually love you and make the most out of even the good times.
Yeah. You know, I think, you know, God is always with us, no matter what, you know, and He never leaves you, He never forsakes you, and He always loves you, you know. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, what is one way you think we can all change the world?
You know, I think it's pretty cliche, but if we each do our best to love one another, and that's, you know, the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, it's really not that complicated. Love God with all of our heart, mind, and strength, and love each other as ourselves. It's not that complicated. It's very simple. It's hard to do. So one of the things I like to do, Leo, is I like to say carpe orum. So a lot of people my age know carpe diem, which is seize the day. Carpe orum is seize the hour. So what I try to do is remind myself every hour that I need to die to myself, trust Jesus, and know that every person that Jesus puts in my path, Jesus loves. And my job is to love them like Jesus does.
Yeah.
Not easy. I fail it every day, all day. But I at least know that's the goal.
Yeah. And I always seen like videos of Karens before, and I'm like, I'm trying to love them, but why do you have to freak out about your McDonald's Big Mac order being wrong? I know you wanted lettuce and they forgot the lettuce. Why did you have to freak out? I'm trying to love you, but why did you have to freak out about lettuce not being on your Big Mac? You know.
I think a friend of mine that a great guy, Steve Reese, pastor in Dallas at Irving Bible Church back in the day. Steve and I were talking about that one day. He does an amazing ministry in South Sudan called Water's Basic. So they've taught the local people how to drill water wells because it's so important to have clean water. And also how to service the wells, and that's been his ministry for many years. And a lot of times in this country, we're a little spoiled. So the fact that we even have a Big Mac, so we take for granted. The fact that it should have lettuce and pickles on there, we take for granted. But Steve said one time that one of the reasons that we get upset about little things and with each other is that we all kind of operate out of our woundedness. We've all been wounded. We've all had things that hurt us. We've all had things that didn't go the way we wanted to. And sometimes it's easy to let that come out at moments because we are human. It is our sin nature. And so it is easy sometimes to have that come out and hurt people in ways we don't intend to, and to get upset about things that in the grand scheme of things are not going to be things we'll be worrying about on our deathbed.
Like, I bet, like, let's say you order a Big Mac and they forgot your small Coke, and it's like, why did you guys forget? You know, it's like, and then on your deathbed you're like, why was I freaking out over my small Coke? I
Should have been a Dr. Pepper, by the way.
Okay, all right. You know, I like this interview. We got some spicy Carolina Reaper peppers in here because, ooh, we now have a battle. We now have a battle. Oh, guys, if you are Team Coke, subscribe. If you are Team Dr. Pepper, like. And we'll see, I guess, what happens. The more likes, the more subscribers.
You're going to have a lot more Coke drinkers than Dr. Pepper, especially once you get out of Texas and get to the Northeast.
True.
Probably in Michigan, where you go, they probably don't have a lot of Dr. Peppers.
I have seen some Dr. Peppers there.
Cool.
But I mean, like, it is mostly Coke. But I like both. I just like it, you know. I think Dr. Pepper has a bit more like caffeine-ish, like a bit more sugar.
Huh.
I think so, or I could be wrong, so please don't, you know, check the Google of that on me, but I think I might be correct. I'm not entirely certain. Is there a place where people can find out more about you, or like, you know, just a website or anything really?
I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on Facebook. I'm not very active on Facebook, but LinkedIn, Joe Womack is, you can find me pretty easily. So my business career has been in technology. I worked for a company that made a lot of really cool internet technology, including Java, JavaScript, and then healthcare and construction are the other two things that I have a lot of passion about. So anybody that wants to kind of see my story on LinkedIn can see it there. I do have Facebook. I don't really use it, but sometimes it'll say a friend posted a picture, a new baby, something like that. So if I see an alert like that, I might check it out, but I rarely post, rarely do anything on Facebook.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, I'm sure for the people watching who are not nerds, like some people are with glasses, would you mind telling us what Java and JavaScript is?
Fantastic. The early days of the computer business, the earliest days, we had mainframe computers. And there's a famous quote, and if you go to the Smithsonian, you can see these big computers from the 50s, bunch of vacuum tubes. They couldn't do basically what a basic calculator can do. But as the industry evolved and it started being important to have technology that could all run the hardware and software together and run on anything, and developers could just focus on their application, you needed a common programming language. You needed something which we used to refer to as the lingua franca, the common language of the internet. And Java and JavaScript are ubiquitous for programming. Before that, it used to be that if you made a computer, your chip had to match the operating system, had to match the application, had to match all the hardware. And so it was very difficult if you said, hey, I've got this cool application, I want to run it on this other company's stuff. And it was hard to port it over because you had a lot of investment that had to be done. Java allows people to make a cool, if you decide to come up with a cool application with Java, you can pretty much have it run on any computer company's environment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And if I'm correct, JavaScript was like early back then. It was like pretty much almost kind of like code that
it is
like
code.
you
it's
say
a thin layer
yeah,
of code.
Yeah.
That,
Would like almost if you gave it a set of command or like a set of commands, it would do it for you. So it was almost like something that it was almost like the first stages of like a vending machine, kind of like you say 5-2, or let's say you see a Cheetos on number 11, you paid the dollar bill and it kind of does that, you know. So it's almost like a vending machine.
It was that's a great analogy, great concept. It was introduced in San Francisco at the Moscone Center in 1995, and so the internet build out was really something that by the end of the 90s, by the 2000s, it became every business had to have a website. It spurred a lot of economic growth. It spurred a decade in the 90s where we had amazing productivity gains. And we had, the U.S. actually balanced its budget in the mid-90s as a result of the incredible productivity and the explosion of the internet. And Leo, what's great about old timers like me is getting to see what AI is doing. You're living in an amazing time. I think there's so many things that traditionally have taken a long time, like how long it took to map the human genome, any of the DNA discoveries, and now science with the AI can do so much work, and I think will cure a lot of diseases a lot more rapidly. And I think there's a lot of good to be done with AI, a lot of productivity gains, which is nothing I've seen since the internet in the 90s.
And speaking of like AI and JavaScript and Java and all like technology stuff, there's actually a tool that I use called Base44. It's basically JavaScript. Instead, it relies on like 5 AIs. So I think like ChatGPT. I think you know what ChatGPT is.
Yes, sir.
I think Google Bing AI. I think Google Bing has some AI. Meta, or I think all these other AIs, right? And what it'll do is you can make your own website by using, let's say, a template. So you could say, make me, let's say for instance, a simple gaming app, right? and you paste that in, and it will select which AI is good for making that part. And once it does that, it'll then add it, or it'll make the template, and then you can add changes to it, make it your own, and then you can publish it. And I think if you sign in and get you can buy better subscriptions, which I'm not saying you have to, but you can also change the domain name. It's really cool.
And what's it called again?
Base 44.
Base 44.
Yeah. For any of the viewers that are curious with Base 44, go to base44.com. Really cool website.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, what is your favorite hobby to do?
That's a good question. I like to read a lot, which in today's day and age, that means a lot of listening to books. So I have about a 3-mile walk with my Labrador Retriever every morning. We usually get out before daybreak out in the country, and that's a common time for me to listen to books or listen to podcasts. But I love the outdoors. Growing up on the beach, I love the mountains. But really, any activity where I'm getting to hang out with people is a lot of fun.
I'll tell you who really loves reading. It's my mom.
Your mom?
Yes, she could read books. If that was the only thing that she could do, she would do it.
That's probably why Michelle's so smart.
Yeah.
If she does a lot of reading.
Yeah, and she likes mystery books, so thriller books, so suspense, almost detective mystery books that
Sure.
solve a crime type of, I guess genre, if you want to call it that.
Oh, the genre?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can never pronounce it. It's,
that's those kind of things make you really think. What's going to happen?
It's is the dog gonna eat the cake, or is he gonna eat that, or is he gonna eat the plate of bacon? Which one's gonna happen? It always gets you thinking what's gonna happen next.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a well-written one, you can't figure it out till you get to the end. I'm sure.
It's there's always some plot twist. It's here's the book, and then here's your thinking. And let's say at this point there's a plot twist. The book goes here, you keep going here, and then at the end of the book, you realize, wait, he did this.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, so that's why maybe that person did that.
Lots of twists and turns.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool. If you have if you watch a TV series and then you don't come back at it for 4 years, and then you watch it the whole series again, and you're every plot twist gets you again. You're how did that happen?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be it for today's episode, guys. Remember to like and subscribe. But yeah, until next time, it was nice having you here.
It was great to be here, Leo.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.